Annabeth gestured frantically towards the nearest hiding place, the women's restroom. All three of us ducked inside. I was so freaked out that it didn't even occur to me to be embarrassed. Something, or more like two somethings, slithered past the bathroom door, making sounds like sandpaper against the carpet. "Yes," a second reptilian voice said. "He draws them. Soon we will be strong." The thing slithered into the cafeteria with a cold hissing that might have been snake laughter. Annabeth looked at me. "We have to get out of here." "You think I want to be in the girls' restroom?" "I mean the ship, Percy. We have to get off the ship." "Smells bad," Tyson agreed. "And dogs eat up all the eggs." "Annabeth is right. We must leave the restroom and the ship." I shuddered. If Annabeth and Tyson were actually agreeing about something, I figured I'd better listen. Then I heard another voice outside, one that chilled me worse than any monster's. "Only a matter of time. Don't push me, Ergris." It was Luke. Beyond a doubt, I could never forget his voice. "I'm not pushing you," another guy growled. His voice was deeper and even angrier than Luke's. "I'm just saying if the gamble doesn't pay off." "It'll pay off," Luke snapped. "They'll take the bait. Now come, we got to get to the Admiralty suite and check on the casket." Their voices receded down the corridor. Tyson whimpered, "Leave now?" Annabeth and I exchanged looks and came to a silent agreement. "We can't," I told Tyson. "We have to find out what Luke's up to," Annabeth agreed. "And if possible, we're going to beat him up, bind him in chains, and drag him to Mount Olympus." Chapter 9. I have the worst family reunion ever. Annabeth volunteered to go alone since she had the cap of invisibility, but I convinced her it was too dangerous. Either we all went together or nobody went. "Nobody," Tyson voted. "Please?" But in the end he came along, nervously chewing on his huge fingernails. We stopped at our cabin long enough to gather our stuff. We figured whatever happened, we'd not be staying here another night aboard the zombie cruise ship, even if they had $1 million bingo. I made sure Riptide was in my pocket and the vitamins and thermos from Hermes lying on top of my bag. I didn't want Tyson to be carrying everything, but he insisted, and Annabeth told me not to worry about it. Tyson could carry 3 full duffel bags over his shoulder as easy as I could carry a backpack. We sneaked through the corridors, following the ship's "You Are Here" signs, towards the Admiralty suite. Annabeth scouted ahead invisibly. We hid whenever someone passed by, but most of the people we saw were just glassy-eyed zombie passengers. As we came up the stairs to deck 13, where the Admiralty suite was supposed to be, Annabeth hissed, "Hide!" and then shoved us into a supply closet. I heard a couple of guys coming down the hall. "You see that Antrubian Draken in the cargo hold?" one of them said. The other laughed. "Yeah, he's awesome." Annabeth was still invisible, but she squeezed my arm hard. I got a feeling I should know that second guy's voice. "I hear they got 2 more coming," a familiar voice said. "They keep arriving at this rate. Oh man, no contest." The voices faded down the corridor. "That was Chris Rodriguez." Annabeth took off her cap and turned visible. "You remember? From cabin 11? I sort of recalled Chris from the summer before. He was one of those undetermined campers who got stuck in Hermes' cabin because his Olympian dad or mom never claimed him. Now that I thought about it, I realized I hadn't seen Chris at camp this summer. What's the half-blood doing here? Annabeth shook her head, clearly troubled. We kept going down the corridor. I didn't need maps anymore to know I was getting close to Luke. I sensed something cold and unpleasant. The presence of evil. "Percy!" Annabeth stopped suddenly. "Look!" She stood in front of a glass wall looking down into the multicolored canyon that ran through the middle of the ship. At the bottom was the promenade, a mast full of shops. But that's not what caught Annabeth's attention. A group of monsters had assembled in front of the candy store. A dozen Elastigonian giants like the ones who had attacked me at dodgeballs, 2 hellhounds, and a few even stranger creatures, humanoid females with twin serpents' tails instead of legs. "Scythian Dracane," Annabeth whispered. "Dragon women." The monsters made a semicircle around a young guy in Greek armor who was hacking at a straw dummy. A lump formed in my throat when I realized the dummy was wearing an orange Camp Half-Blood t-shirt. As we watched, the guy in armor stabbed the dummy through its belly and ripped upward. Straw flew everywhere. The monsters cheered and howled.